Why some hotels replace GMs every 18 months, a global reality. Welcome to GM Podcast, and I am Tajinder Grover, your host tonight. Today we are discussing a global pattern in the hospitality industry. Why do some hotels across continents replace their general managers every 18 months? This is not limited to one country. It happens in the Middle East, in Europe, in Asia, in the United States also. The cycle is surprisingly similar. A new GM is appointed, there is excitement, there is a new vision, there are town halls and strategy meetings. But within 12 to 18 months, the contract ends or the mutual separation happens. Most important question is why. First, global investor pressure. Hospitality today is highly financialized. Private equity, investment funds, asset managers, they demand quarterly performance. And if RevPAR index or GOP margin doesn't improve quickly, leadership change becomes the easiest signal of action. Second, oversupply in major cities. In markets like Dubai, Bangkok, London, Riyadh, New York, supply growth is aggressive. When competition intensifies, performance becomes fragile. And when numbers dip, leadership becomes vulnerable. Third, cultural misalignment. A GM successful in one region may struggle in another. Leadership style that works in Europe may not work in Saudi Arabia. A direct approach that works in the US may fail in Asia. Global mobility is rising, but cultural adaptability is not always equal. Fourth, brand versus owner conflict. Globally, this remains one of the biggest stress points. Brands push standards and long-term positioning. Owners push cash flow and return on investment. The GM becomes a face of both and the pressure point. Fifth, short-term career strategy. Let's also be honest, some GMs treat property as stepping stones. 18 months, improve KPIs, move on. But frequent leadership changes damage team stability and long-term culture. Now here is the critical insight. Hotels that replace GMs frequently usually have deeper structural issues. Unclear strategy, unrealistic financial modeling, weak governance, or even internal politics. Changing the GM gives temporary relief, but it rarely fixes systematic problems. So if you are a GM operating globally, before signing a contract, ask, is the owner long-term oriented? Is the asset financially stable? Is the market oversupplied? Is brand owner alignment healthy? Because in today's global hospitality landscape, job security is not about tenure. It's about strategic compatibility. This is Tajinder Grover, and this was the GM Podcast. Goodbye, friends.